Hi guys, it's Mr. here from Bookaholics Book Club, and here are the books that I read in January. First off, I started with Awaken by Katie Kakvinsky. I gave this one 3 out of 5. It was interesting but kind of boring at the same time. It's sort of set in the future where everyone doesn't really get out much. They live in their computers, they talk to people on their computers, like people they never even meet them in person. And it was a sort of interesting futuristic scenario, but at the same time there wasn't a whole lot that happened that excited me, so I'm kind of here or there. This also counts to I'm taking part in a TBR challenge this year to read through the books that we've had for a long time, and this one had been on my shelf for like a year or something, so this is counting towards my challenge. The next one I read was Dead Romantic by CJ Skews. I actually received this in January and started it right away. I gave it 4 out of 5. It was a very fun book. It's about a girl she just wants love and a boyfriend, and so she makes one with this other girl. They find parts of other boys and then try to reanimate the body once they've put it together. It was pretty funny and unique, and I really enjoyed it. Then after that, this next one counts to my TBR challenge too. I read Pretty Bad Things by CJ Skews. I have had this one for the longest time and just never got round to picking it up, but after reading Dead Romantic I wanted to read something else by her, and I've already read her other book, Rockaholic, which I enjoyed. This one actually I gave 5 out of 5. I read this in one night. I stayed up till like 2:30. I so enjoyed it. It's about a young brother and sister who end up on the run, and the girl's quite out there, but I kind of got her, and she was just a really fun character. I really liked this book. It was my favourite of the month. Next I read Under the Never Sky by Veronica Rossi. This is another one that counts to my challenge because I've had it since last year sometime. I can't remember, like April or something. This is another future dystopia type thing. It's not really safe outside. The sky is very different. Everyone lives under a dome, but then there are people that do live outside of these big domes, and they basically think that they're savages, but then a girl gets expelled from the dome and ends up meeting the savages and obviously falls in love. It was okay. I gave it 4 out of 5. I didn't think it was as brilliant as other people thought that it was, but I did enjoy it. Next, I read the second book, Through the Evernight, obviously by Veronica Rossi. I read this right after I received this in January for review, so I didn't have to wait between books. This one again, 4 out of 5. It was okay. I enjoyed it. I didn't love it. The characters are kind of starting to grow a bit, and there's an interesting friendship that I'm really enjoying in there, and yeah, it was okay. And then next I read Roran, which is a short novella from Under the Never Sky. This is actually a prequel, but I read it after the 2 books, just about how 2 of the characters met and how something that happens in the book came about, kind of thing. It was kind of a nice little insight into it. I am actually more interested in that couple than the main couple, so I quite enjoyed reading that, but I gave that 4 out of 5 again. Then next I read another book on my Kindle. I read, Tirade by Cambria Herbert, there's no R. This is the 3rd book in the Heaven and Hell series. There are going to be 4 books, so the next one is the last one. I really enjoyed it. It's a series that I've just really been enjoying. 2nd book was actually pretty great. 3rd book was good. I gave it 4 out of 5. Left with a lot of questions. I'm actually really looking forward to the last book towards the end of the year, to seeing how it all ends. I quite enjoy the characters and the story. It's very different. Next I read The Beautiful Creatures Illustrated Movie Companion. This was another one I received for review. It's the first time I've really read a movie companion, so I wasn't sure how to rate it. I just gave it 5 out of 5. It was very interesting. Definitely got me even more excited for the film in a couple of weeks. I cannot wait to see it. Then last I read Night School by CJ Doherty. I gave this 3.5 out of 5. At first I put 4, but then I rethunk it and maybe 3, so it's 3.5. It's okay, but it's not that original. I didn't find it that exciting, but you know, I made it to the end, and then I read book 2, Legacy, which I gave 2 out of 5. It just nothing really happened. Book 2 was all about this love triangle, and not about the story very much. Not that much happened, just, you know, a big thing at the end to sort of close the book off, but it wasn't interesting. The first one was slow to start, and then when you do get the big reveal, I was just like, is that it, kind of thing. Like, it wasn't that amazing. And then, like I say, book 2 just didn't really add much to the main story. It was all about these boys, and I could have done without it, to be honest. I don't even know if I'm going to read book 3 whenever that comes out, next year I guess, or the end of this year. I'll just see how I feel when it comes out. That is everything that I read in January. Please let me know what you read, and I'll see you next month. Bye.